morning, ladies and gentlemen, again this morning. I want to welcome you to the leadership lessons with Dr. Stanley Maposa. And we have been following a discussion around leadership styles. And this day we're going to do leadership style number. And we're going to be looking at three types of leadership. Let me see, four types of leadership. The first one is called coaching leadership, and I'm taking it from last series or last session. Coach leadership style is an effective method of taking your team forward because the leader is a coach and focuses on the in-depth identification and nurturing of the strengths of each and every member of their team, instead of giving the same orders to everyone. So, as I indicated last time, this kind of leadership, which is called coaching leadership, is sometimes called situational leadership, because the coach takes each and every member as an individual and attends to their individual differences as they lead them, in order to be able to identify as well as nurture their strengths, so that each member of the team contributes to the strategy as well as the development of the organization or whatever unit you are leading. This strategy will enable the team to work together using their individual strengths than trying to do something that they are not comfortable with. So the coach style leadership type of leadership is very similar to the strategic and the democratic leadership style. But the core of this strategy is to increase the growth as well as the success of each and every individual employee or team member that is part of your team as a leader. When the employees are groomed in using this strategy, they are then forced to focus on their skills rather than focusing on what the employee needs, but they look at their skills versus what is the strategy of the organization, so that they are effective in whatever they do. And therefore their unique expertise and their unique skills set can be used as differently as they are in the different projects that they undertake. So a manager like this will benefit from these kind of employers, as well as the company will benefit in the individual strengths of the team, so that they are participating in the new tasks that are given to them with the guidance that they are provided to them. So to sum this up, coach leadership style is about certain key traits, and some of them are as follows. Number one, you train your subordinates effectively. Number two, you resolve your problems effectively and efficiently. And thirdly, if you cannot do it by yourself, then you know that there's somebody in your team that can lend a hand and that can support you. And the fifth thing is that there is great improvement and performance under a coach leadership style. And the fifth one is that exceptional motivation of people happen through this kind of leadership. And the last one is that you harness the creativity of the newbies, those that are new in your team, those that are starting off in your team. If you are a coach kind of leader, you harness their skills, you harness their gifting. In other words, therefore, coaching leadership style is part of the types of leadership hierarchy. These leaders are patient because they know that the results are not achieved overnight. Coaching leaders are realists. They are not idealists, they are realists, as they are aware of uncertainties as well as adversity. But more importantly, they are prepared to overcome those setbacks by helping others during their project that they are doing. Let's leave it there for now and go to what is called the strategic leadership. according to Wikipedia, I know many people don't like to use Wikipedia, but according to Wikipedia, strategic leadership is the ability to influence others, to voluntarily make discussions or decisions that enhance the projects of the organization in the long-term success. There is what we call the layman's terms, or the layman's language, the language of somebody in the streets. Therefore, we can say in that case, using that language or using everyday common language, strategic leadership is a manager or a team member's ability to charter the vision for the team and for the company. In other words, it's the ability of the manager, it's the ability of the leader, it's the ability of the one that is on top of the organization to charter and to show the vision to those that are following the company. When they envision the strategy, they would easily be persuaded to be members of the team and also to follow that organization, because the strategy has already been laid. They understand what is supposed to be happening, and therefore they can be able then to move forward with the strategy of the organization. So the strategic leader is somebody who really puts forward the strategy of the organization, and everybody buys into it. I usually say everybody eats it, everybody consumes it, everybody takes it in and naturally takes it out. Because whatever you have taken in is what you will take out. So you take time as a strategic leader to build in and drive in and drill in the strategy, and on the natural basis, the team members then release what you have given to them. The leadership technique easily enables the managers to create a team that is full of skill, diversity, exceptionally trained and well-equipped individuals that help the company in the normal situation as well as in the emergency situation. Sometimes in an emergency, people run around, they want to save lives, they want to do things differently. But if they are not trained during the normal time, it then becomes difficult for them to attend to the problematic or the situational sort of emergency situation, as I've already said. Then the next one that we are going to discuss here is called the charismatic leadership. We know this word charismatic from charismatic churches. We know this word charismatic from people that are, have this charm in them, this ability to lead other people through their character, their bubbly character, and because they are charismatic, then in the charismatic circles, in the church circles, the charismatic came from Holy Spirit and speaking in tongues. But in other circles, charismatic really means a leader who has got this charisma or this charm to lead other people. This leadership style solely depends on the leader, on the character of the leader. The amount of charisma that the leader has will inspire people more, so that they will work more effectively and please their leader, and as a result benefit the company. Charismatic leaders inspire and energize and motivate the people working under them, and this technique is so successful in a number of setups because it depends upon the momentum of the leader and the ability of the leader to be pushing others to do what they are supposed to be doing through their character, as I've already said. This leadership style actually increases the team morale and pushes them towards success. However, it's not everybody that is charismatic. Other people are not charismatic. Therefore, this leadership style then is based on the individual's character. But they can learn and be motivated and be inspired to move the organization forward. So what I'm trying to say here is that while charisma is a natural thing, there are other people that can learn it, through association, through reading, through a variety of other methods that are out there. Then there is another leadership style that is called the Laissez-Faire leadership style. Laissez-Faire is a French word which means let them do. And if you want to translate it in English, Laissez-Faire means let it be. Let it be. From these meanings, you can conclude that this is the leadership styles where managers or teams delegate the responsibility to actual people working on the ground. And therefore, as they are delegated, they are able to then do as they see fit, do as they see it themselves. And this kind of leadership style has been criticized quite a lot because it is more than just delegation. It is more or less like relegation, that somebody is able to just do what they think they can do when they want to do it, and it has got some disadvantages, while it also has some advantages. This helps the team to get to work done in their own terms, quickly as possible without interference. In other words, laissez-faire kind of leadership does not interfere much with the people. It really trusts the abilities and the skills of the people, and therefore they work according to their own style and to their own time, and then they get the maximum amount of flexibility and the scope of innovation based on what they are able to do. As I've indicated, that this style of leadership usually works mostly when leaders are leading other leaders that already know what they are supposed to be doing, and therefore they don't need a lot of constant supervision. They need minimum supervision. It is perfect for teams that really, know what they are doing, and they do not want to be loaded over, as I've indicated. But it may not be the most leadership style for everyone in the organization. Then the next kind of leadership is called the pace-setter leadership style. Let me check it here quickly. Pace-setter leadership style. It is the leadership where one is speed oriented, is work speed oriented. The leader will push the team to get results fast, and the intention is that they want to be the ones that have started this particular thing. They wanted to be the ones that are on top of the game, and therefore they are the pace setter in that particular environment, or in that particular team, or in that particular field. In other words, they want to be sort of agile. They want to be the ones that really are known for doing this particular thing differently. And they are pace setters. Pace setters are those people that originate things, that innovate things. And therefore the pace setter leadership is that particular leader that really wants to go into uncharted waters, untraveled waters, and untested waters, and be able to start things differently, and therefore works with people maybe in the innovative space, in the information technology space, and something like that. We know that this is one leadership style which seems like people are getting grilled to do more and more work without recognition. And that's not the truth about this leadership style. Pace setters do push their employees, but they do that in a way that their employees are inspired to do more work. This actually enhances their performance and individual energy levels rather than decreasing them. Pace setter leadership style works quite a lot in stock markets, in sales-related organizations where numbers are mattering a lot, and the rapid action is needed to diffuse situations. As I've already said, these are the people that want to be pace setters, that want to be known for doing something that is much more different than what other people have been doing. Let me conclude this thing by helping you as a leader to choose the leadership style that is effective for you. I think as I started this series of leadership styles, I indicated that these leadership styles don't necessarily mean that there is one that is better than the other, but they mean that there are many of them, and therefore you can choose what is suitable for you, depending on a number of issues that I'm going to raise right now. So when you are choosing a leadership style, you need to decide appropriately which one to use and adapt it so that it can influence your group. It can also be able to help you reach your goals of performance and be able to grow your organization if you want to grow it. And therefore there are multiple factors that you need to be considering in doing that. The first one is that you choose your leadership style based on your own personality as a leader. We have different personalities as leaders, and some have reserved personalities, some have outspoken personalities. There are various names that are given to different people with different personalities. So therefore, certain personalities gravitate to certain leadership styles. And therefore, you have to look at yourself and say, what kind of personality am I? And then you use that particular personality to be able to choose the leadership style that works with you. The second consideration is the power you hold over your team. What amount of power do you hold over your team? And that dictates the kind of leadership style that is best for you. This power is largely dictated by the circumstances of your group. Is your group large? Is your group small? Is your group made up of experts? Is your group made up of newbies or starters? All those things then talk about the power that you hold over that organization or that team, and therefore determines the kind of leadership that you are using. The third consideration is the maturity of your team, group maturity. This is measured by the growth and development of your team. Depending on the level of their dependency on you, on their growth and development, then your leadership style changes. If you start up with one group and they are still new, they are coming into an organization and they are growing over the years. So as they grow over the years and you are still there as well and you are training them, you'll discover that your leadership style at the end, in 5 years, differs completely from what it was when you started with the group. So the maturity of the group, as the group matures, as your team matures, your leadership style must change. You must not hold on to one leadership style for 5 years when your team is growing. Then it means it's your problem. Either they are not growing or you are not growing as a leader. And the next one is about time allocated for decision making. The time that you are given to make your decisions determine the kind of leadership style that you are going to use. If you are pressurized of time and deadlines are very, very short, you use a different style of leadership. But when you still have enough time, you also use a different style of leadership. So time is critical in leadership style. It is probably wise to adapt a more authoritative style of leadership if the decisions are needed quicker than when the decisions have much time to be taken. The next one is member satisfaction. Having satisfied team members is important for the health of your overall team. The style of leadership that you use depends on the satisfaction of your leader, of your staff or your team. So you must be able to say, I would like to satisfy my leaders, my team, especially if you are leading your leaders. Do they have enough resources that you are giving them to be able to work? Do they have enough space for them to be working and stuff like that? So as I conclude, as I'm saying, I'd like to ask you a few questions that you need to engage me with in this particular program. What kind of a leader are you? And what are the reasons for you choosing that particular leadership in your company, in your church, in your family, in your organization? Why are you using that particular leadership style? And are you growing in your leadership style from what you were when you started to what you are now? So I'd like you to share your experiences and tell me in the comments section the leadership style that you are using yourself, and then maybe you move on to the leadership style of your leader to be able to then work together to solve these leadership problems, and so that leaders grow. And as leaders grow, organizations grow. And as organizations grow, community and society grows and improves. Thank you very much. I would like you to share this broadcast. I would like you to comment on it. I would like you to click in the notification button so that when we are online, you know we are there. And thank you very much for listening.
Salibona bazalwa nisaphile moyeni nimtumise nubaba. Salibona bazalwani nisaphile moyeni nimtumise nubaba.